Hey guys, back again. I know it's been a while. It's been kind of busy the last couple weeks, but I'm back. I've have some time, so I decided to make this video on configuration. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So when configuring programs in Linux, there's three main ways that you're going to do that. So the first one is GUI configuration, which is probably something that you're most familiar with. So on my system, to change just the visual effects of the windows and anything that uses some sort of GTK tools, you're going to want to use this program called LX Appearance, which I already have up here, to change the aesthetics. So, you know, I have ARC, and, you know, you can make fun of me or whatever. I don't really care. But this is just something that you're probably most familiar with just because, you know, most proprietary programs use this method to configure their system. So like something like Word, you probably use something like this, you know, to change like the background or something like that, or you know, like Chrome or something like that. But that's the first way that you'll be configuring programs in Linux. So the second way, once you start getting into terminal programs, something that you'll see very often is configuration files. So in this example, I have URXVT pulled up. URXVT is just a terminal emulator. I don't personally use it just because it has a lot of bloat. I forget how many lines of code it has, but it's still way too much for my taste. But anyways, the configuration file for URXVT is just under you know, the home directory. I guess I should write explicitly, you know, home /x resources, or also .x defaults, but you know, that's, you can look into like the differences. I'm not here to explain URXVT as much as just show you just how URXVT is configured in this case, which this is the configuration file right here. And all that means is that before the programs run, URXVT is going to look at this file, and using its specific syntax is going to read through everything and create this terminal that you see right here. So like, let me point with my mouse, like the, you know, like the specific color this is, not the fact that it's, you know, I think what color 1, I can't quite remember, but that's something that's in Bash, but which is another program that uses this configuration file idea. But anyways, you know, this shade of red, blue, purple, etc. Was just here in this file that you saw. Like I said, I'm not trying to show you how URXVT is configured, mainly because I don't use it, but the point is the configuration was done from this text file, and URXVT read it right before running the program. The last way you can configure programs, which I personally prefer, is compiling the program yourself. So that's kind of a meme in a sense. You know, like, how can I trust it if I can't compile it? But anyway, so I have this folder called repos where I just keep all the repository of programs that I actively configure and compile. So this one that you're looking at, in contrast to URXVT, is ST. You can see some videos online about that. But basically, the way you want to configure ST, or suckless terminal, in this is just for this particular program, but you go into config.h, And instead of having like a very weird specific configuration file with very specific syntax, ST takes the approach of using C as the language to configure variables within it. So as you can see, everything that ST uses is in some sort of variable. So here's color, and what the colors as we saw in URXVT. It's obviously different colors. That's why this looks different from that. It's just because of the different colors that are defined, and they're defined in different ways, which is the main point of this video. But as you can see, I defined font and border pixels, etc. So there are other ways to do it, I'm sure, but these are the main ways that you're going to encounter configuration of different programs. Obviously, to implement the compiled programs, you have to compile it once you're done configuring. But yeah, anyways, these are the three main ways that you're going to configure programs in Linux. So I'm just telling you this because in the future, I want to give. I'm making this video to give context for future videos in which we're going to be configuring things. So in this example, I just showed ST because that's something that I want to go through. But also, for example, there's i3. i3 uses a configuration file, which has its pros and cons. It's whatever, but just letting you know. So when I get comments in the future about, where do I go for this and that, or how do I do this or that, So then I'll just refer you this video for stuff like that. As always, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. If you have, stay tuned for more videos.